True competitors are inevitable. It's only a matter of time until we win. Let's get to work. Welcome to The Competitor. I'm your host, Christian John Bradley, and here we embrace our competitive nature and explore all things competition. And nothing was more competitive than last night's Monday night matchup. A matchup between the back-to-back Super Bowl champs, Kansas City Chiefs, versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Of course, the Chiefs won in overtime, 30-24, and it was a hard-fought game. Chiefs are still now the only undefeated team in the league. 14-game win streak. If you go back to last year, they have not lost since Christmas. It's insane. But we also have to give props and kudos to the Bucs, who played a hard-fought, well-played game. But there was just one moment that decided the game. When? Down by 7. 1 minute and 49 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. They have a chance. They go on a 10-play, 71-yard drive, and they score a touchdown. Down by 1. I look at my wife and I tell her, babe, they should go for 2. Because if they don't, they will lose in overtime. You cannot give the Chiefs more time. Why? Because the Chiefs are inevitable. The more time they have, the more likely it is they win. But that's not what the Bucs did. The boldness that got them to that point was forgotten, and they went for the extra point to tie it up. They played for overtime. And the inevitable came to pass. Patrick Mahomes gets the ball in overtime, drives down the field, scores a touchdown, game over. That moment, you had 2 options: win in regulation or lose in overtime. They chose the latter. And after the game, the Bucs head coach Todd Bowles said this about his decision not to go for 2.
Going for 2 after the touchdown there at the end?
Very minor. We wanted to get it to overtime with the wet conditions on the field. We felt like we had to go in overtime instead of go for 2. So we had our shots. We lost the game.
I don't know, in the past you've mentioned you had communications upstairs about decisions, analytically, things of that nature. Did they advise you not to go for 2? What was...
No, we went for 1. We took our shots. We had our chance all game. We just lost the game. It didn't come down to that.
What, are we being serious here? Are we being serious? 2 major things I have a problem with in this statement: the rain, and we had other opportunities, other chances. Like what? First, the rain. Whenever you focus on a circumstance, you blame a circumstance, your performance suffers. That rain existed on your 10-play, 71-yard drive. That wasn't an excuse to not go for 2. If anything, it was working in your favor. You had all the momentum in that moment. What are we talking about the rain? You can't blame the rain for a bad decision. We can't do that. Second thing is, it's such a cop-out to say that there's other opportunities. It didn't come down to that play. No. Of course, throughout a game, no team is perfect. Both teams make mistakes. But in this game, all of those circumstances worked out for your good and handed you an opportunity to take and win the game. But you got timid. You forgot who you were. What? You had it. It was there. Why? You had it. When it's time to do something special, you have to capitalize on it. This is the equivalent of someone having a business meeting, a pitch meeting, killing the presentation and forgetting to make the ask at the end. You got so far, but you're afraid to enter into the promised land. Oh my goodness. you have to realize who you're going against, who the opponent is. The Kansas City Chiefs, the inevitable. Time is not on your side. You had to kill them at that moment. And the Kansas City Chiefs have become an inevitable, internally motivated organization who upholds and keeps a standard of excellence. And it's from top to bottom, from the dark to the light. Andy Reid, the Kansas City Chiefs head coach, is notorious for rigorous preparation, having the hardest training camp in all of football. He emphasizes the earning the small victories in the dark of practice when nobody's watching, on the way to the large victories to the light of the game where the praise comes. And this approach leads to consistent and sustainable success. 3 Super Bowls in 5 years, back-to-back Super Bowl champions, on the way to a three-peat this year. But the question is, I feel it, man. How do we as competitors become inevitable like the Kansas City Chiefs? Here's how. Through consistent victories in the dark where nobody's watching, on the way to the light where the truth is revealed. What do I mean? You have to focus on building the small habits, the victorious habits when nobody's watching, when it's just you. You cannot compromise. The details matter. And you build those winning habits. Those habits are reflected in the light of the game when it's time to perform. And you do this over a consistent period of time, you become inevitable to the point where you yourself and others will attach this phrase about you. It is only a matter of time until you win. It's an expectation. Let's get it. From The Competitor, I'm your host, Christian John Bradley. I'll see you next time.